Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Our scripture is taken from Jonah, chapter 3, verse 1 through 5, 10, and chapter 4, 1 through 4, and verse 11. God spoke to the prophet Jonah because the people of Nineveh were doing evil things. Such things provoked God's anger amongst them. Therefore, they were about to face punishment. Jonah was to be a prophet in his own country. God ends up not punishing the people because they had turned away from their sins. Jonah gets angry because he already knew that God would show grace and push love for the people of Nineveh. Violence is very prevalent in our system today. Have we turned on the news lately? There is never a moment when we hear about violence of all sorts. Wars continue to escalate. Poverty still exists in many of our communities. Domestic violence, gun violence, and all sorts. We have turned from God. In our text, we learn that God responds. God was going to overthrow Nineveh because they turned away from their Creator. They enforced violence. What else did they do that provoked God's anger? Israel and Judah followed what we today know as the Tanakh, the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Within these texts includes the Decalogue, the 10 Commandments, the first one being honor your God and there should be no other. Do you think they honored God? No, idolatry was the reason why God had put this in place. In a sense, the followers of Yahweh worshipped other gods. God is gracious, merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. Does that mean that we continue to stoke God's anger by worshiping other idols? On the contrary, we show love as God does, grace, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. Do people get on our nerves? Of course. How do people know God? What did the king of Nineveh do? And the people? It was by his actions. It is much easier said than done, but to apply it will take energy, physical and mental energy. God continues to speak and continues to discipline those for the work that we are called to do, just as God called Jonah. They shall not feed, nor shall